In July of 2021, a fan was hit in the head by a baseball, causing her death. Joy Smith was a mother of three and grandmother of four. She died on July 18th, the cause of death being intracranial hemorrhage due to blunt force trauma. This resulted from being hit in the head by a foul ball during the seventh inning stretch of the Los Angeles Dodgers versus Atlanta Braves game. A batter fouled off a pitch. The ball launched over the first baseline, just over the protected by netting, and struck Mrs. Smith in the head. The fatal injury to Mrs. Smith happened during the first season in which all 30 major league teams had protective netting extending from behind home plate to at least the far ends of both dugouts to safeguard especially vulnerable sections of the stadium's lower tiers. Even though it was a mandatory request by the MLB, it was a recommendation made by the MLB to all teams to do. There is an old MLB baseball rule which says on the back of the tickets that you purchase that fans assumes the risk incidental to games when they enter ballparks and courts of law have generally held that as long as teams provide warning and install netting in the areas of the greatest danger, MLB has lived up to its responsibility. However, by standing behind this rule makes the organization look cold and uncaring about its responsibilities to their loyal fans. This can cause the loss of ticket sales when an incident occurs. The general manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Brandon Gomes, will be assigned to take task of addressing social media, news outlets, and the fans publicly. Mr. Gomes, being the general manager of the team, will show the fans and all involved that the organization is taking the matter seriously from the top of the organization. I would like to tell all the employees it is with great sadness that I will have to notify our organization of an untimely and tragic death of one of our loyal fans. Mrs. Smith was recently attending a game at a Dodger stadium when a foul ball made it over the safety net we have in place on the first base line and hit Miss Smith in the head, causing an intracranial hemorrhage. Mrs. Smith passed away a few days later. The Los Angeles Dodger organization is more than a baseball team. We are a family, and that includes our employees and fans. So I want to assure that when you hurt, we all hurt, and in this instinct, we feel the impact of Mrs. Smith passing and her family's tragic loss. The Dodgers organization will stand by the family during their grief and help where we are able and allowed. Please know that we take the safety of our fans as well as our employees very seriously and have already spoken to our safety department to make the necessary changes to prevent this type of tragedy from ever happening again. We are looking into extending the netting both higher up in tiers as well further down the baseline, as well as anything else that may increase the safety in the stadium. General Manager for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Brandon Gomes, made a statement after the incident stating Mrs. Smith was an avid and loyal LA Dodgers fan, and our hearts and prayers go out to her family at this time. The Dodgers are committed to the safety of all fans and are putting further safety measures into place to prevent any further tragic injuries. We support Mrs. Smith's family and are working closely with them to help alleviate any financial struggles they may be experiencing due to this traumatic accident. At this time, the Dodgers organization will have no further comment to protect the privacy of all those affected. Certain PR tools and communication channels that can be utilized can include the following. You have email, which is an effective form of communication because it is immediate and can be sent to multiple people at once. It is also very straightforward because it puts the issue at hand in writing to be reviewed as needed. You also have staff meetings, gathering employees together to help inform them of the company or department goals, and also provides a question and answer opportunity. The Q&A can bring light to other topics that need to be concentrated on that maybe management has overlooked or is unaware of. You also have social media, important for sharing urgent news and updates because it can reach many individuals who actively use these platforms. It also allows for a dialogue for fans to ask questions and provide their own opinion for management to consider. I believe this press statement, as well as the employee statement, will show the family, fans, and organization as a whole that we take this strategy very seriously, and our main focus now is how to prevent any further tragic incidents from occurring that could be avoided. We want the public to see our sympathetic side and our dedication to their safety first and foremost. We want the family to know that we hurt along with them at their loss because we consider our fans and employees as family as well.